happy morning to you, one and all. Thanks for tuning in. And I apologize for whispering, but I'm coming to you from Ohio, where it is 7:16 a.m. in the morning. And because I was sick over the weekend, the lawyer wife has to work from home. So she gets to sleep in a little bit more during her work week, which means I shall not wake the Kraken. All right, so we must be quiet, or Kevin will get swallowed whole. Where are you guys from? Let's muster up. But shh, you gotta do it quietly. Tap your keyboard quietly. No sudden movements. I had to lock the dogs out just because I can't even afford for them to be whining in here. Where all of a sudden you'll just hear, Kevin, coming from downstairs. All right, let's see what we got. Australia. Hold on, let me get this pulled up here really quick. We're on standby. Okay, Australia, Dubai, Texas, Czech Republic, Sweden, retired Marines. All right. Thank you for your service, sir. The UK, you sound like you're from London. Kansas, Michigan, South Africa, birthplace of the Musk. San Antonio, Minnesota, Greece, Netherlands, Memphis again, Deutschland, Germany's back. Robert Fallon is back. Ooh, we already have a new eccentric member from the last attempt. I believe this is I can't even keep count. Is this our third or fourth attempt at doing this? I think it might be our third. Between this and the GPS scrubs, I just can't keep track of the tally. Stuart Gilray, if you're still watching from the other day, thank you for signing up, bro. Grant Hugstock, who super chat $5 last time. Thank you, sir. Jeffrey L. Parrish is also a new eccentric member. Thanks, Jeffy. That's my father-in-law's name. Good guy. Robert Fallon is back, VA and BRCC this fine morning. Good to see you. Yes. Is it really a good morning? Is any morning really good? I guess it can be good when you have a SpaceX launch, as long as it actually launches. But typically for me, mornings suck. Mornings are the devil. And it probably is because I still have never had a cup of coffee. All right. It's my own fault. Iraq, Virginia Beach, Missouri, Ireland. What's up, Ireland? New Zealand's back. And New Jersey, home of the lobster. What's up, mods? Thank you for modding. I appreciate you. What's up, eccentric members? Let's see who we got. We got Michael Ernest is back. This is the 5th attempt. You're probably right. I'm feeling like, besides being groggy in the morning, I'm feeling 100%, dude. Thank you for asking. For those of you that don't know, the reason why last week's SpaceX in the news episode was pushed to Sunday was because I was in a coma. I could not get out of bed. Never got tested for COVID, so can't say for sure that's what it was. But yeah, I bounced back like that. So thank the Lord. Mark Kreider, nice mic. Thank you. Nice face. I'm just kidding. I've never seen your face. And we started. Let's turn the volume up.
Live view of Falcon 9 awaiting its 7:29 a.m. Eastern Time launch from Launch Pad 39A at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. And hello from SpaceX headquarters in Hawthorne, California. My name is Shiva Bharadwaj, and I'm a space operations engineer here at SpaceX. Now, you are watching a live webcast for our 13th Starlink mission and our 17th mission for this year. If you've been following along at home, we've had to stand down this mission a few times now due to unfavorable weather conditions, as well as an out-of-family reading on one of our ground system sensors. But all the vehicle systems and ground systems looking healthy today. Weather, we're tracking one item, possible cumulus clouds along the ascent trajectory, so we'll keep you apprised of that as we hear more on the nets. Now, to date, we have launched more than 700 Starlink satellites to orbit. If you're not familiar, Starlink is a constellation of satellites that can provide high-speed, low-latency internet all over the globe, particularly in remote and rural areas where connectivity is often limited and sometimes completely unavailable. We will be performing 2 second stage burns today to deploy those 60 Starlink satellites about 1 hour into the mission. Those 2 burns allow us to deploy the satellites into a circular orbit, which helps them get to their final orbit, about 550 kilometers above the Earth, much faster. Now, at this point, we are just under T-minus 9 minutes to go until liftoff. all systems looking go for on-time liftoff this morning. Now on your screen is a live view of the Falcon 9. That's our two-stage launch vehicle. Falcon 9 is 70 meters tall, which is greater than the wingspan of a 747 aircraft. This particular booster flew for the first time in May, taking Bob and Doug safely to the International Space Station on their historic mission. It also flew again in July for the Anasis 2 mission for the Republic of Korea. And the bottom two-thirds of the vehicle that you can see covered in soot from its previous two flights, that's what we refer to as the first stage. Its job is to accelerate the vehicle through the Earth's atmosphere to space with the help of...
I'm sorry, but doesn't that look like CGI? I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. But don't worry, the rocket's supposed to be smoking, but that smoke looked like CGI to me. I've been watching too many movies this weekend, apparently. It's all I can really do. Sorry.
Stage is designed to be reflown 10 or more times with minimal refurbishment between flights. It'll actually be the 15th time this year that we're flying a flight-proven booster and the 43rd time that we're doing so to date. Atop the first stage is the black carbon fiber inner stage, and on top of that is Falcon 9's second stage. It has a single Merlin vacuum or MVAC engine, which is actually hidden from view inside that black inner stage. And once the first and second stages separate about 2.5 minutes into the mission, the Merlin vacuum will ignite to carry those 60 Starlink satellites onto a circular orbit around our planet. Falcon 9 has been loading propellants since the T-minus 35-minute mark. As a reminder, we use a rocket-grade form of kerosene called Rocket Propellant 1, or RP1, as the fuel, and superchilled liquid oxygen, or LOX, as our oxidizer to power Falcon 9. Currently, RP1 is fully loaded on both the first and second stage, liquid oxygen nearly fully loaded on both stages. LOX will be continued to be topped off right until the last 2 minutes before liftoff. Now, at the very top of the rocket is this nose cone structure. This is what we refer to as the satellite fairing, and inside that is a stack of 60 Starlink satellites. The fairing's job is to protect the satellites from aerothermal heating, aerodynamic loads, and contamination during the ascent portion of the mission. But once we get to the vacuum of space, we actually don't need it anymore. So we'll jettison those fairing halves as the second stage continues its journey to orbit. Now, one of the fairing halves is brand new, but the other previously supported 2 Starlink missions, one in May of 2019 and another in March of this year. And we will be attempting to recover both halves today using our recovery ships named Mystery and Mischief. Now, at this point, quick update on the weather. The 45th Space Wing gave us a 70% chance of go, the primary concern being cumulus clouds along the ascent trajectory.
I see none.
Still waiting to see if we will be go for launch at 7:29 Eastern time, but from what I've heard, we are trending towards green for launch. Now, with that, vehicle, satellites, weather, and range looking good for an on-time launch. Weather, of course, with that watch item right until the final minutes before liftoff. Now, as many of you know, the Starlink team is well into the first phase of testing with our private beta program. During this time, the Starlink team has been collecting latency statistics and performing standard speed tests on the system. The initial results from these tests have actually been really promising, showing super low latency and download speeds in excess of 100 megabits per second. As we've mentioned previously, we are still in the beginning stages of building out our global satellite internet constellation, but the initial results do look promising, and we're looking forward to rolling out a public beta later on this year. Earlier this week, we also heard from emergency responders in the...
Okay, he's going over things that he went over last time. So, Big Guy with Dreads is also here. Thank you, bro, for showing up out of Delaware, local Central Ohioan. Nice, unless he meant Delaware State, but I think he meant Central Ohio. Or we'll just go with that. Yes, thank you, Devon Johnson, for becoming an eccentric member. And as well as Tattoo Laxonen. Sounds Scandinavian. I'm just going to guess that's where you're from. But I'm not cultured and I've never been anywhere, so I'm probably wrong. Thank you for joining up. If you join up as an eccentric member, whether it's on YouTube or on Patreon, you get an extra episode of SpaceX in the news in your week. I get comments all the time. Kevin, why don't you do more than one episode a week? Well, I do. One of them is just only available for members. Just so you know. Finland. Okay, I knew it. I am cultured. Yes.
stages of countdown. Vehicle is looking healthy. At this point, the first and second stages have nearly 1 million pounds of that rocket-grade kerosene RP1 fuel on board and liquid oxygen. And the clouds that you're seeing there around the second stage is from actually that super chilled liquid oxygen. We do periodic vents. You actually just saw one there as we continue to top up those propellant tanks until the T-minus 2-minute mark. And when that cold oxygen comes into contact with the moist Florida air, it actually causes water vapor to condense and form actual clouds around the vehicle.
That booster is looking super sooty today. I like it. I like it a lot. Alex. Wait, Kevin, I just showed up. I'm working today. Of course you are, Alex. For those of you that don't know, Alex is he's our friendly neighborhood workaholic. Hold on 1 second. I got something for you, Alex. All right. So I've been speaking with my mom, and I'm like, Mom, you got to hurry up on these polo shirts and patches and stuff because Alex is getting impatient. He wants one. He wants it. You give it. So she made a few samples. We're on our way. Let me show you these really quick. I know it's a small window, but here, I'll just transition really quick to big window. All right, so this is just a quick little sample of a future patch. The colors will change. I kind of like the darker gray. I like either black or very, very dark gray. And this will also be like the logo we put on polo shirts. She'll sell them right from her store, and I'll provide the link for that when they're ready. But we're on our way, guys. Exciting things. T-minus 2 minutes. 2-minute warning. And Peter Aldrin is an eccentric member now.
Pad 39A.
That's a pretty sky, yo.
The crew tower to the next of it, not using that today. Coming up shortly here, we'll actually see some venting from that large truss structure on the left-hand side of the vehicle. You can see it starting there.
Dude, the sun must have just popped up. That sky's looking awesome now. Yes, thank you, Peter, for drinking that eccentric Kool-Aid. Welcome to the cult. It's not the worst cult you could join, okay? It's a SpaceX cult. It's pretty sweet. Ghost Faces here with his 1 gold bar. Thank you, Lieutenant. Oh wait, no, I'm mistaken. Lieutenant is double bars. You're an ensign. You still got a ways to go for Lieutenant. Big guy with dreads wants a patch. Well, you'll get one, sir, eventually. I want one too. These are just samples. They don't count. Stuart Gilray became a member on Sunday. Thank you for drinking that Kool-Aid. What flavor did you choose? I like red or blue. I don't know what flavors those are. Maybe like strawberry and raspberry. I don't know, but it's delicious. Always got to add that extra sugar packet. Dude, this is going to be a pretty launch, man. The sky's lighting up, yo. Those clouds are going to be tasting tasty.
Stage 1 flight press.
T-minus 15 seconds.
Do not say the word Scrubtober. This one's going to happen. I'm calling it.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff.
In your face, October.
Pitching downrange.
Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
T plus 40 seconds, Falcon 9 successfully lifting off from launch pad 39A at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. We're taking that Starlink orbit to its first, Starlink satellites to its first targeted orbit and eventually a circular orbit. We actually just throttled down for maximum dynamic pressure, or max Q, on those 9 Merlin engines. We'll expect to hear that call out here shortly.
Vehicle supersonic.
Supersonic means really fast. Faster than the speed of sound. It's crazy.
XQ.
So call out there for having gone through the point of maximum aerodynamic pressure. That's when the loads on the vehicle are the highest from the combination of our velocity, but increasing while the density of the atmosphere decreases. Now, coming up in just about a minute, we will have 3 events happening back to back. First will be main engine cutoff, or MECO. That's where we'll shut down those 9 Merlin engines. You can see the plume expanding from them on the back of the rocket here. That'll be in preparation for stage separation. Now, stage separation is where the first and second stages will separate. First stage will continue on a parabolic trajectory towards the drone ship, while the second stage continues on to the final event, or second engine start number 1. That's where that Merlin vacuum engine will ignite. And once it lights up, it'll propel the second stage along with Starlink satellites into orbit. Actually heard earlier that we've started chill in on the turbo pumps of the Merlin vacuum engine to get it ready for that full flow of propellant and oxidizer. So coming up just about 12 seconds from now, expect to see MECO. It's main engine cutoff, then stage separation, and then at about T plus 2 minutes and 45 seconds, second engine start number 1.
Exciting. We got a boomstick that actually works.
MECO.
Yes.
Stage separation confirmed.
And it still works. Awesome. Yes. Fly.
So there is successful stage separation and second engine start. You can see the grid fins deploying on the left-hand side of your screen. That's the first stage. On the right-hand side of your screen is the Merlin vacuum engine starting to glow brightly with the heat of that combustion reaction. First stage making its way back towards
Acquisition of
planet
signal,
Earth.
Maryland.
Coming up here should be fairing deployment shortly.
Separation confirmed.
There's a call out
There
on the
they
nets
go.
and a beautiful shot of the Starlink satellites. You can see on the right-hand side there a little bit of planet Earth. And actually, you can see a fairing half there trailing away. Now, as a reminder, we will be attempting to recover both the fairing halves today on our recovery ships, Mystery and Mischief, that are also stationed in the Atlantic Ocean.
Mystery and Mischief. He used different names for each one. That's weird. It's Mystery and Mischief or Mystery and Mischief. Whatever, to each their own.
Second stage heading towards its targeted drop-off orbit. Now, while that's happening, the first stage is actually going to execute 2 burns to make its way back to Earth. You can see right now that we are actually pitching the first stage vehicle to try to get those Merlin engines facing towards the atmosphere.
Signal Bermuda.
Those periodic gas clouds that you see along the first stage are actually from our attitude control system. And once we get to the top of the Earth's atmosphere, we'll ignite 3 of the 9 Merlin engines for entry burn. That'll help slow down the first stage as it re-enters the upper parts of the Earth's atmosphere. And the second of those burns will actually happen much closer to touchdown on the drone ship. That's the landing burn, where we will ignite just a single Merlin engine at the center of the set of 9. And that'll slow down the vehicle rapidly before hopefully a soft touchdown on our drone ship. On the right-hand side of your screen, continuing to see the Merlin vacuum engine continuing to burn. This is a pretty long burn for the Merlin vacuum engine. This will be going until about T plus 8 minutes
Second stage on
and
nominal
48
trajectory.
seconds. Call out there from the navigation officer that the second stage is on a nominal trajectory at this point.
Nice.
So
Yeah,
flying right down the middle of the bars.
To answer a couple
Cool shot
questions.
from the interstage on the left-hand side of your screen.
My turn to talk. to answer a couple of your questions, yes, this booster on the left-hand side of your screen there is the same one that took Bob and Doug to the space station back, I think that was late May or early May. I can't remember. My memory sucks. It's going to land on the drone ship. Of course, I still love you. Okay. And some of you commented that what was up with the little ring around the second stage nozzle that flew apart. That happens every time it's used for structural integrity during shipping, from what I have researched.
Sort of creeping up the side of the rocket, since the vehicle is right now both going thousands of miles an hour. At this point, the first stage has reached the highest point of its orbit, the apogee. So it is on the downhill portion of the of its trajectory. You can see Earth getting bigger and bigger.
Those are cold gas thrusters.
Stage 1 FTS is saved.
Help steer the rocket with those grid fins. Grid fins are used when it gets in the atmosphere to help control
Stage
it.
1 entry burn startup.
Startup of those 3 Merlin 1D engines on the first stage. Second stage continuing to burn nominally.
Expected loss of signal, Cape.
Stage 1 entry burn shut down.
Hey, we kept video.
So with that,
Awesome.
we will continue on the first stage to apply some attitude control
She's coming in hot,
from
dude.
those attitude control thrusters. And as the atmosphere gets thicker and thicker, the grid fins will actually start to gain most of the control authority.
Second stage on nominal trajectory.
And the grid fins will continue to fly Falcon 9 in, giving us aerodynamic control.
There
Looks
were
like we
those
just lost the
cumulus
link as it re-enters there.
cumulus clouds
There's
they
a
were
shot of the
talking
drone
about.
ship. Again, that's 624 kilometers off the east coast of Florida, awaiting first stage for a landing attempt.
That looks like a
Second stage
person
continuing
sitting
to
right
look good.
there.
That
Doesn't that look like a person sitting right there, or is it just me? Little goggles on. I don't know. Maybe I'm going crazy. It is early.
combustion reaction radiating out to space through the nozzle. Now, part of the reason why the second stage has such a large nozzle is to try to get the most out of the propulsive gases that we're producing in the propulsion chamber. And so that allows the second stage to be a little more efficient in the vacuum of space.
Looks like a guy with a VR headset on playing video
Coming up
games or
here,
something.
we expect to
You're looking
hear
the
a
wrong
call out
way,
for
dude. Turn
landing burn
around.
Start on the first stage. That'll be just a single center Merlin
Stage
engine.
1 landing burn startup.
Shortly after, we'll expect to see landing leg deploy, and then hopefully a touchdown on the drone ship.
Terminal guidance.
Drone ship camera is shaking. That's a good sign.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy.
And now it's glowing. That's a good sign too. Slow down. Ah. Nice.
Looks like right
Landing confirmed.
in the center. That marks 61 successful
Stage 2 FTS is saved.
recoveries. Third time for this booster.
The guy has been
Now,
vaporized.
coming up about 8 seconds from now, second stage is also going to shut down its engine for second engine cutoff number 1. Keep an eye out for that on your right, on the right-hand side of your screen.
Seco 1.
And successful shutdown of the Merlin vacuum engine. Navigation officers will be assessing whether we have ended up in the right orbit. And most of the way up, we were right down the middle.
Nominal orbit insertion.
So good call out there. We're in the first
Good news
of
all
2
around.
planned orbits. Now, the second stage is going to coast in this orbit for about the next 30 minutes. We're actually going to take a break while it's doing that, but we'll leave you with an animation that shows exactly where the stage is in this coast phase. And we'll see you back here at T plus 42 minutes for reignition of the second stage's engine. See you back shortly.
All right. I really hope this booster makes it, man. It's a notable booster. The first booster to take Americans to space since the space shuttle. I hope it makes it, whether they fly it a handful of times or 10 times. They need to put that thing in a museum or on the lawn of a museum or something. So that's awesome. Yeah, they nailed that landing, dude. Bullseye. Good for them. Great way to start out the month, I guess, after all those scrubs. Naysayers getting hosed. Excuse me. All the good stuff is done. Yep, so we got a couple burns, which is a rarity for Starlink missions. We'll have one in about, what do you say, about 30 minutes from Meow. And then I think he has another one at, did he say at let me look at this up really quick. Let's go to spacex.com/launches. Instead of guessing, we can just see, I think, oh, there is only one. Oh, no, there's 2, but wait, hold on a second. I should probably read. Second stage engine starts. Okay, there's only 1 second burn, and then, so there's no third burn, and then at 1 hour and 1 minute after they deploy the Starlink satellites. Okay, I was wondering if they did a third burn at around 1 hour, but they don't, because the way he was talking earlier, it kind of sounded like that. And then we should, hopefully, if everything works out with the fairing deployments, with the catches, I mean, hopefully we hear about that about the time they do this next burn. Well, actually, it'd probably be a little after that. Usually it lands about 45 minutes after liftoff, so it'd probably be shortly after this upcoming burn at T plus 42 minutes. That's when we should get word if Mystery and Mischief catches the fairings. However, I wouldn't be holding our breaths because we saw those cumulus clouds over by the drone ship. So it's probably pretty choppy up there. Maybe some crosswind action, high upper level winds blowing them all over the place. But that would be nice. "600 miles off the coast, isn't that double of normal? I believe that is quite far out. I assume you're talking about the drone ship. Maybe you're talking about the fairings. I don't know. I need more context. 1,500 more people need to task themselves to hit that thumbs up. Yes. If you're watching SpaceX's Starlink mission, make sure you hit that like button. Give them some love and support. I mean, I don't care if you do it for this channel, but that'd be very nice of you. But I don't expect it. Parachutes. Hey, Kev, how's the backyard coming? Good. The lawyer wife made me do some landscaping work the other week. It was quite terrible. Had to build a wheelbarrow. That sucked. But yeah, I mean, it's not flooding anymore, so that's great. On my Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram, I took a couple pictures of it with my my dogs taking over. Let me see if I can pull those up really quick. Actually, I'll show you. They were totally making themselves at home. They're not much of guard dogs. Here we go. Pull this up over here. So that's Kunu sitting on our new patio furniture. I wonder if I can zoom in a little bit. Yeah, there we go. He's a goofball. And then Cairo he gets jealous easily. Like, you will take my picture, sir. And I got one of both of them too. It's like they're guard dogs, but they threaten to unionize, so I had to give them 15-minute breaks. They're funny boys. Cairo was having, this is Cairo right here. He was having some weird dreams last night, howling and stuff. He doesn't do that too often. It's quite hilarious, but still kept me awake. Kept me awoke. So yeah, patio's fun. Already had a handful of fires out there. Haven't roasted any hot dogs or s'mores yet, but we shall eventually. It's getting kind of cold, meow. Eric Beavers, dog treat money. Oh, trust me, I could use it. These dogs get a lot of treats because they're spoiled. The problem in this house is, like, I'll give the dogs a treat just like in the middle of the day to give them some love, and I'll find out like from the lawyer wife, 10 minutes ago she gave them treats, so they get extra treats all the time. So we run out of them quite often. So thank you for the dog treat money. And we buy American. Like, we don't trust buying dog treats from China just because we've heard like so many bad illness stories of contaminants and dog treats made in China. So they're more expensive when we buy them at Kroger. So it really eats through your wallet. And I get them on Amazon too, like these dental bones they really like. Like, it's almost impossible to brush their teeth. I try to a couple times a week. It's so much easier just to give them those dog bones. They don't really excuse me, they don't really do much for Kunu because he swallows them whole. It's kind of defeats the purpose. Like, it's insane. These dog bone treats are like this big. They're huge. And Kunu will eat it in about 2 seconds, like 2 bites, and he swallows them. Cairo is a little dainty thing. He nibbles on them. Like some one episode of The Office where I shouldn't even brought it up because I can't even think of the character's name. He's the new guy that came in with Saber, the skinny guy. He's hilarious. And in this one scene, he's like nibbling on a sandwich. And like, that's how Cairo eats. If you have time to YouTube that scene, you should do it. It's freaking hilarious how this guy eats his food. He's just like gnawing on a sandwich. So yeah, Cairo, he takes his time with these dental bones. So I know I'm getting my money out of those things. His teeth have to be really clean the way he eats them. Anyway, I've spoken too long now about dog treats. Thank you though for the support, bro. Love it. Carrie Turner. First SpaceX launch I had to watch from the loo. The loo. Loo. We use Amazon on the monthly plan. I see, that's the thing. I'm afraid of commitment. It's like I have some sort of commitment phobia. So I don't really care for like monthly subscriptions if I can avoid them. Because this is what I do. I forget that I have these kind of things, and then I look at my credit card statement or whatever. I'm like, where the hell did this charge come from? And I start freaking out. But I have looked into doing things like Chewy or whatever, but ultimately I buy my toys and treats individually. What I need to do is I need to find a really good like tennis ball for dogs distributor, because my dogs go through a tennis ball a day each. Like, they'll destroy a tennis ball in an hour easily. But the ones I buy for them are supposed to be okay for their teeth, because like normal tennis balls aren't good for dogs' teeth. They're like sandpaper. They wear them down. So I know Kroger sells like these pet-friendly tennis balls, but I feel bad because when I go in there, I have to buy them all off the shelf. I always try to leave a pack or two for someone else, but man, these dogs are ridiculous with how fast they go through tennis balls. They don't appreciate money and the cost of things. They really don't. Gabe, yes, thank you. I was like, why is everyone commenting Gabe? Yeah, from The Office, Gabe, that's his name. There's a scene in The Office when Gabe is eating like his ham sandwich or whatever. He's just like gnawing on it. Like, it's so funny, dude. I don't know why I thought of that when I was talking about Cairo, but I guess it's pretty relatable. When is the next ULA attempt? You know, I haven't even bothered looking into that, beyond. Let's do it right now. I like to use spaceflightnow.com and go to their launch schedule. I'll bring it over here for you guys so we can look at it together. Scroll on down, okay? That's happening right now. We got GPS 3. Hopefully we'll get a new launch time and date for that soon. Just says October. And what I like about Spaceflight Now is they're pretty like up to date. I mean, usually they have it, the new launch schedule within 24 hours. So I'm pretty sure right now they haven't made an announcement yet. You can also check their Twitter, ULA's Twitter. They post up new times and dates there too. Ooh, next Starlink launch on October 10th. That's cool. Maybe Electron as well. That'd be fun. I cover all these non-SpaceX launches live for my eccentric members. So if you enjoy these and like to hang out more, join us. Bring your Kool-Aid. But only if it's a delicious flavor. No yellow Kool-Aid. That's disgusting. Disabled park hopper, he writes down his monthly expenses. I would do that, but my handwriting sucks and it wouldn't help me anyway. But I admire your your work ethic. Ooh, sweet. Got some live images. Nice. Carrie, after the Chinese baby formula with poison incident, 2008 Chinese milk scandal. I don't trust any pet food from China. Yeah, I remember that actually. And now they're giving us COVID. That's how rude. One of us. One of us. See? They might be brainwashed, but they're happy as eccentric members. You get these cool little rank rank icons next to your name. I think I believe it's every 2 months or so you rank up from ensign to lieutenant commander, all right, to captain crunch like Michael Ernest. And then we don't have any admirals yet, but I think that's coming up. No fleet admirals. And then for some reason we have Master Chief outranking Fleet Admiral. So once you're on here, as long as you can be, the highest rank you can achieve is Master Chief, which in my book outranks an Admiral because it's Master Chief, right? Master Chief is awesome. And you also get those awesome emojis, like Disabled Park Hopper is showing off. Look at all that. Still more to come. In fact, now that we have all these new eccentric members, I can probably make another one. Which one would you guys like me to make? What emoji would you like to have in your arsenal next? We'll go with your call. I haven't seen what's it called? The Nightbot on here. Did he go on strike, or did he just quit? Like, I haven't seen Nightbot doing any Nightbot things on here. Did someone manage to remove him? Because if not, that's fine. I don't care. I don't really miss him because everyone just complained about him anyway. Hey Keith, what's up, dude? Keith is a patron. Or no, Keith I see all the time on Twitter. That's right. Keith, what's up, Keith? You fired Nightbutt. That's cool, man. I'm okay with that. I don't even know how you did it, but that's sweet. Kevin, will you go to Mars? I have a set of stipulations about going to Mars. Here's the thing. If I go to Mars, I can't be there for more than a year. I can't stay there for the rest of my life because I would get tired of looking at red dirt and there wouldn't be like a Pizza Hut or anything. I need pizza in my life, all right? So, and the lawyer wife wouldn't let me go for that long. Let's be honest. Right. As much as she says she hates me and wants to murder me, we all know she doesn't want me to, be away that long because she couldn't take care of the dogs by herself and there would be no one to mow the lawn. All right. But seriously, I couldn't go to Mars for an extended stay, just for a few months to a year most. And then I like to come home because the Earth is beautiful. All right. And I would miss it. Now, let's say I live to be 500 years old easily, and Mars is now a colony, maybe a little terraformed, and it starts to look a little bit more like Earth, then I could move there permanently. Like, I like to think of, what's that movie? I like to think of the movie Passengers with Chris Pratt. A lot of people didn't like that movie. I love that movie, dude. The movie's awesome. So the movie Passengers with Chris Pratt, they actually write on the premises. People can take, it's in the future, based in the future. People can take a ride on a spaceship called Starship, actually. And this movie was made in 2014 before Elon ever named Starship. I think it was the ITS at the time, if it was even around. I think it was about the same time. So they can opt in to take a ride on Starship to a distant planet, hundreds of light years away or whatever, and live and build a colony on that world, and I would totally do that. That would be sweet. And what they do is they put them under in these little hibernation pods that basically kill them but keep them preserved so they don't age, and so they can just wake up like nothing ever happened, only they're 100 years in the future and on a different planet. That would be sweet. I would totally do that. I mean, it'd be like taking a time machine, dude. You could go to a planet, wake up, arrive on the planet, stay there for a year, and then head back and be 201 years into the future when you get back to Earth. That'd be sweet, dude. I would totally do that. I'm sure most of you would agree with me. I'm glad Disabled Park Hopper liked that movie. A lot of people gave that movie a bad rap. I love the movie Passengers. I highly recommend it. Right. But I also like these movies where people are like stranded on things. Like I like the movie Castaway. I like the movie The Martian. I think it's just my loner personality, my isolate personality. So, it'd be like my dream to be stranded on an island or stranded on a starship by myself. I should probably mention that. Like the reason why it's called Passengers and the actual plot of the movie is this guy, Chris Pratt, wakes up on the journey there like 30 years into the 100-year journey because his hibernation pod malfunctions. And there's no spoilers here. I mean, this happens in the beginning of the movie. And like, so he's basically a prisoner on this ship, but I don't see it as prison. I'd be like, heck yeah, do what I want. Float around in space and take joyrides and eat what I want. Shrimp in space, dude. Nothing's better than that. Yeah, so Starship was called ITS back when Elon first thought of it. And then it was BFR for Big Falcon Rocket. Remember those days? And then I think in 2018 it was renamed to what it is now, Starship. Starship Super Heavy. We're not at the Super Heavy part yet. We're just at the building it now. Exciting stuff, guys. We all should count our blessings that we all have the whereabouts to actually be interested in this stuff and watch it happening in front of our eyes, because this is like the Apollo days. Like, only we're going further. Like I always said growing up, I would have loved to have been born in like the 50s and watched the Apollo era in the 60s and Mercury and Gemini. But that's basically what we're seeing now. We're watching it happen. Only it's less manned flights and more test flights, which is okay because it means we get to watch a lot of failures. When failures are always cool. Zach Wright gets me on that loner thing. I'm my own best friend. Don't tell the lawyer wife. Don't tell Cairo either. He's a jealous pup. I'm just kidding. I love my dogs. I guess I love the wife too. It's the gardener wife's birthday today. Happy birthday, Michael's wife. Michael's gardener wife. What's up, Rock Dodger? Thanks, Kevin, for covering this. You're welcome. Thank you for tuning in. We got about 10 to 15 minutes till SpaceX comes back on with another second stage burn. And they'll deploy Starlink at about T plus 1 hour and 1 minute or so. So actually, I'm going to get off here really quick. I need to give the dogs their breakfast because it's 8 a.m. here. It's about breakfast time. And then I'll be right back. All right. So you guys hang tight. I'll try to be back within 10 minutes for this second burn. Okay. the Kraken has awoken. Oh my gosh, she'll get so mad when she watches this live stream. You called me a sea creature? Oh, they started the burn. I guess they're not gonna commentate on it. So here's the thing about German Shepherds, right? I get comments all the time like, "Oh, Kev, your dogs are so pretty," and they are on the outside. No, the thing, like, if you're a first-time dog owner, don't get a German Shepherd. Right? They really do require some experience, because obviously the good things about German Shepherds, they're loyal, they're good-looking dogs, they're fun, they have great personalities, big personalities, but they also shed. Even though my German Shepherds are short-haired Shepherds, they still shed a lot. They are very, very stubborn dogs. Like, in Cairo, he's from a working line, so he has relatives that are police and military dogs, and so he's always up and wanting to play and bounce around and stuff. So you always got to keep him busy. And if you don't, they will annoy the hell out of you. They will just get in your face and whine and whine and whine. Sorry if I scared you, by the way. I didn't mean to do it too loud. But yeah, someone said, Kevin, take a look at Trevor Mauman's picture that he posted on Twitter. So let me bring that up over here for you guys really quick. That is a pretty sweet picture, is it not? Let me transition really quick to this. Check that out, dude. My face is covering up his little credit there, so let me get rid of myself now. There you go. That's a sweet picture, dude. Good for him. He centered that rocket right on the sun, dude.
Orbit.
Well, figures. I unmute him the second he's done talking. Let's see what he was talking about.
In vacuum seconds from now, what's called second engine start number 2.
Oh, they didn't start it yet.
And good shutdown.
And now we missed it. Gosh dang it, Kevin. Ice. Frozen oxygen.
MVAC burn 2. And good shutdown.
Frozen exhaust.
So super fast second engine start number 2, and then followed by second engine cutoff number 2. That was to raise the perigee, or the lowest point of our orbit, to be circular and similar to the apogee.
And we're back
We
to live.
actually got some cool shots as well from recovery. This is a shot from our drone ship.
Nice.
Just read the instructions, and you can see on the horizon there, that is the first stage from today's mission on, of course, I Still Love
sweet.
You.
There it is.
Again, that's the third landing for that booster, 61st overall recovery. And we actually caught a fairing half today as well.
No way.
That's the active fairing half. And this fairing half has flown 3 times, landed it right square in the middle of the net. We did have to abort the catch attempt on the passive half, but we're in the process of recovering that from the water on our other recovery vessel. So from here, second stage is going to continue in this orbit for about the next 16 minutes. During this time, it'll actually start to pick up a spin on its central axis. It'll start using its attitude control system to start a small rotation, and that's to give the Starling satellites the momentum they need to space themselves after they do their deployment activities. That's expected to happen at about T+1 hour, or around 8:29 a.m. Eastern time. So we'll see you back then.
All right, I got to rewind it a little bit.
Eastern
We have a
time.
few things to talk about
and,
here.
And that's central 16 minutes. During this time, it'll actually start to pick up a spin on
See
its
if I can
central
do it.
axis. It'll start.
All right, it's coming up. Oh, missed it. And not quick enough. It's about 44:09 is when I need to pause it, and too quick. Slow it down. There it is. Nailed it. All right. I got to bring this up because I always get like messages and comments on Twitter and stuff. And I'm, Kevin, what is this alien spacecraft they showed us? I love it when they slip up and show us this thing. But this is a camera inside the LOX tank of the second stage. So that's liquid oxygen you're looking at there. It's pretty sweet. Inside the LOX tank. It's pretty cool. But let's keep on going back here because I want to make an observation. So did he say this obviously looks like just read the instructions? Is that what he said? Let's turn the volume back up.
And we actually got some cool shots as well from recovery. This is a shot from our drone ship. Just read the instructions, and you can see.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny that they have both the drone ships out there. So that's, of course, I still love you with the first stage booster on it that just landed. Now here's my question. Gosh darn it. If just read the instructions is out there and it has a camera on it, please, for the love of God, tell me that you captured video of this landing. All right. We never get to see like a panoramic shot of the booster landing on a drone ship. It's very rare. I hope they released that video on Twitter. Okay. I mean, why else would you not do that if the drone ship's out there? It needs to happen. Make it. I know you took video, SpaceX. Release it. Release it, meow. We want to see it. We want it. You give it. Anyway, back to the live stream. And back to me. By the way, I saw on Twitter just a few minutes ago, Elon tweeted out, I want to get his here we go. I'll bring this up too. Elon tweeted out, "Forward flight and landing for this booster." Well, this booster did Demo 2 and Anasis 2 missions, so this should be the third flight. Yes, it was the third flight of this booster, and third flight for active half of fairing, aiming for 10 plus flights of booster and fairing by end of the year of next year. So apparently Elon's not awake yet either, which is forgivable because I bet he's probably in Texas, so it's like 7 a.m. there. I just thought he was like, yes. He's a funny guy. Pete. I like this name. My freaking chair keeps sinking. Gosh darn it. Pete 2.0. Thanks for drinking the Kool-Aid, man. Welcome to the family. Welcome, brother. One of us. One of us. Just read the instructions out there for the launch on the 10th. The 10th. Is that the next Starlink? Is that what we talked about earlier? October 10th. Yeah, that would be the next Starlink launch. What about GPS 3? Is it not out there for that? We don't have a date for that yet. No, Elon didn't have his coffee yet. I can't imagine how strong the coffee is that he drinks, dude, to do what he does. Guy's CEO of like a handful of companies. It's crazy, dude. I can't even dress myself. This guy's over here doing all this stuff. I'm scared. The lawyer wife is awake. Go away, Bar. I don't like you. There we go. Play. So we have about 10 minutes until they release these birds. It's pretty fun to watch them. Sometimes we get to see that release bar float away, which is cool to watch. And look, I'm still sinking in my chair. My head should be about right here. Not here, here. Like, I like this chair. The reason why I bought it is because it has like a pull-out leg rest. That was like my one stipulation. Like, I like to have a gaming chair with a pillow. It also has a massager that I never use. Lower back massager. But I needed the pull-out leg rest from underneath the chair. But the thing is that they even sent me like a replacement like hydraulic razor and lower thing, and both of them are defective. I know it's not because I weigh too much, right? I only weigh 210 pounds right now, right? They should be able to hold up to 300 pounds. Come on, that's not asking too much. Glad you're still with us, Alex. You shouldn't be driving your truck and watching videos on the road, dude. That's not safe. Imagine if Waterworld happens now. How good, of course, I Still Love You and Just Read the Instructions would be for making an atoll. Dude, that's taking me back. Waterworld, I haven't seen that movie since I was probably in 5th grade. Man, that takes me back. Kevin Costner. That was Kevin Costner, right? I'm pretty sure it was. Justin made it. Morning, Kev. Had to rewatch, and I'm still sinking in my freaking chair. Had to rewatch the launch. The landing was perfect. Did you expect anything else from SpaceX really than a perfect landing? They are on it. We got this down. Oh, you're dropping off Flickr. Okay. Then that's cool. That's cool, Alex. You can watch all the videos you want. Hellfire Orbital is here. What's up, Hellfire? Patron. Buy a new chair and drink, and Elon drinks amphetamine laced coffee. It would not surprise me, dude. It would not surprise me. Mark wasn't a fan of Waterworld. I can't even make a judgment call on that because it's been so long. Because you know how movies were like good back in the day, and then you rewatch them like 2 decades later, like this is cringy as crap. That's probably what Waterworld is. Wow, we got some more Kool-Aid drinkers. Sam Robinson, pick your flavor, dude. Thank you for signing up. Lonnie Holcomb. Dude, I feel like you've done this several times. Is this what you do? Every live video, you just unsubscribe from your membership and then resubscribe? No, I'm just kidding. Thanks, dude. I appreciate you signing up. I know I've seen your name quite a bit. Maybe you're just a super chatter. Kevin Costner dances with dolphins. Pretty much, that's what Waterworld is, right? Or dances with jet skis. Waterworld was basically like Mad Max on water. Am I right? Freaking chair, dude. It's like if I sit back far enough in it, then it won't sink. Maybe I should try doing that. It's because my posture sucks. I hunch. I like slouching. It's more comfortable. I'll reap the repercussions later for it. Did you ever see we got a Waterworld fan from Daniel Brown. He liked the movie. Did you ever see the Waterworld like show at Paramount or wherever? Not Paramount. What's the name of that one? Universal Studios, I think is where it was. Maybe it was Disney World. I think it was Universal Studios. They did like a show. That was pretty sweet to see people like jet skiing ramps through fire rings and stuff. That was cool. That was cool. I need a chair sponsor. Yeah. Yep. Dude, I have a whole, like in my email, I have a whole folder just for like sponsorships of all these companies reaching out to me. I probably have like 100 of them in there now. I used to try to respond to them like, hey, thanks for reaching out. I can't even keep up. I just ignore them. I feel like a jerk. But I do need to find myself a chair sponsor. Like PewDiePie, I think he like tries to sell his ridiculous $400 gaming chair or something. And the thing is, he probably sells and gets a lot of commission from it. Look, I'm still sinking. I can feel myself. I'm going to see how low I can get. There we go. I'm just going to stream from here. Perfect. It's weird because sometimes it cooperates, and like usually during when I'm recording my SpaceX and news episodes, I don't have to worry about it. It always seems like it's on live streams that it keeps syncing on me. It's embarrassing. I'm more professional than that. I'm really not. No, not Universal Studios in Singapore. Hong Kong. Not really a place you want to go right now. Those poor fellas are fighting for their freedom right now. Man, I feel bad for them. If you're watching from Hong Kong, this channel supports you. Lonnie, nah, I just tell you to shut up and take my money. And I will, all right? It's rude not to accept gifts where I come from. Carrie lives in the town where the Mothman prophecies happen. I watched that movie, but another movie that's old, dude. I don't even remember like the premise of that movie. I just remember thinking it wasn't a bad one. Mark Kreider, how about a squared iron patch? Yes. Again, these are the patches. I actually have different sizes here. We have this one. These are just test ones that the mom did. The mom, the embroidery mom. Here's a bigger one. Let the camera focus, and here's one that says Space Eccentric above it. So these are iron-on patches. They have like this weird sticky stuff or something that you can peel off, and once you iron it on, it's on there for good. So if you want to put them on a hat or a backpack, you can. I don't know what color. I'll probably change these are just test ones again, so I'll change like the background color, maybe to like a gray or something. Or maybe we'll have different colors, I don't know. And then it's that same kind of logo that we'll put on polo shirts. But if you want squares, I can pass that request along, see if we can make that happen. Anyone want a triangle? Something just broke downstairs. It wasn't me. Looks like a baby space dude floating in a womb, just saying. I mean, you can look at it. It's interpretive, okay? Actually, when I was thinking of a logo, I was like, it's the first thing that came to my mind was, what would be a nice logo for a Space Eccentric YouTube channel? I'm like, how about just a astronaut floating in space with his umbilical cord cut? Because that would be me. I see myself in this logo. I'd be the one to mess up and somehow end up with that whole gravity situation of me floating away. And then the guy I had, or the kid I had who designed this for me, he turned it into like a Starman spacesuit. I was like, that's perfect, dude. So that just kind of morphed into what it is. People think way too hard about it. They're like, Kevin, did you design a logo to like kind of take a swipe at SpaceX? Like, oh, you're not going to succeed? Or I'm like, dude, you're thinking way too hard about this. I just think it's a cool logo. Just same with my Jolly Rocket logo. People are like, what does that mean? It really doesn't mean anything. It just means SpaceX is like a disruptor, and they're like the pirates of space. They just take everyone's freaking money because they're dominating. We got about 2 to 3 minutes. Hey, Kev, can you check at 47 to 48? We can do that really quick, I believe. That'd be about 10 minutes ago. What am I looking for, I wonder? Ooh, look at that big chunk right there. Oh, it bothers me. It needs to float away already. There it is from a different angle. Not sure what I'm looking for. I don't have time to look at the whole thing. Is that what? Oh, it's gone now. I don't know, man. You'd have to be more specific. I'm not sure what I was looking for, but I'm sure it was interesting. Maybe we'll look at it later. Love that space elevator music. Got to go watch the SNL debate video after you work out today. Oh, I don't watch a lot of
launch.
I don't watch a lot of SNL, but the lawyer wife does.
Successful ascent of the first stage at 7:29 a.m. Eastern Time. We recovered that first stage as well.
Strobe lights in
Second stage
space.
is currently in a circular orbit around the planet, about 275 kilometers above the Earth's surface. And coming up next will be deployment of the 60 Starling satellites. We actually just saw a shot of them earlier. Now, the second stage has picked up a slight spin. It picked that up from its attitude control systems. And that's to give the Starlink satellites enough momentum so they can space themselves out after deployment, which is expected just about 40 seconds from now. And you may have noticed it's a little bit dark. We're actually on the nighttime side of the planet. And a cool shot right now from a camera on the top of the second stage, looking up at the stack of 60 Starlink satellites. Starlink is part of our space-based internet constellation, and we're continuing to build up that network with today's launch. It's coming up about 10 seconds. Expect to see payload deployment.
See if this rod right here will release, and we'll get to watch it maybe.
Starling deployed,
Yeah.
confirmed.
So you can see the Starlink satellites gently floating away from the second stage. Now, shortly they will, once they've had a chance to space out a little bit, they'll deploy their solar arrays, and over the next few days and weeks, they'll start to distance themselves out using their onboard ion thrusters to make their way to their final operational orbits, about 550 kilometers above the Earth's surface. So happy to see them off and on their way to complete their mission. And with that, it's actually going to bring our webcast coverage to a close. We want to give a big thanks to the range and the
You know, it's crazy to think about. Freaking chair. It's crazy to think about, like, if you had a deck of cards, right? 52 cards in the deck, right? Each of those cards in the deck could be a Starlink satellite in this stack, and you still wouldn't have enough. And each of those Starlink satellites cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't know what the exact price is. We'll just say at least 300 grand, right? That's insane to me. No, I was thinking about that. I was like, man, someone's rich to be able to afford that. And his name is Elon Musk. Hooray, they did it. Back to bed, Kevin. Here's the thing, Mike. I can't take naps. And if I went back to bed now, even though it's only 8:30 in the morning, it would qualify as a nap, and I can't do it. I'm not even that tired anymore. I'm officially awake now, so I can't go back to bed, which sucks because bed would be nice. Like when I woke up, that's all I wanted to do before this live stream started. But now I have no motivation for it because then part of my day is gone. Michael got up at 3 a.m. because Michael is crazy. You're crazy, Mike. Disabled Park Hopper is going to bed now because where he comes from, it's probably midnight. I don't know. Oh, he's talking about the block of ice on the engine. Yep, it happens. Yep, it happens. It's annoying when it just sits there. It needs to float away. $60 Starlink Satis cost $18 million. I'll have to trust your math on that. Sounds about right. Have I kerbled lately? I think the last kerbling I did was during a live stream for my eccentric members a month or two ago. Not lately. I accidentally broke my joystick. I have to play Kerbal with a joystick, and I fixed it partially. It's still a little loose, but I need to buy a new one. But since like Microsoft Flight Simulator is so popular, you can't find it. At least last I checked, you couldn't find a joystick very easily. So I'm gonna have to buy a new HOTUS before I can play Kerbal again. I can't wait for Kerbal 2 to come out. You have no idea. I'm hoping they drop a new update video anytime now. I need that game in my life. I was looking, like, I'm not a huge gamer, but like I'm at a point right now that I don't have any like games to play. And so I was like, I need to find something. So yesterday I was kind of doing some research on what games are out there that I could play. Couldn't really find anything that interested me. I know for Xbox and PC, you could now play survival mode on Call of Duty Modern Warfare. So I was looking into that, but then I didn't want to pay like $60 or whatever it is just to play survival mode. So I'm like stuck. Kerbal 2 needs to come out already. That game will keep me busy for, you know, at least a half decade. Paul from Norway. Thank you for the super chat, my bro. What kind of partnership will Texas, Tesla Gigafactory and SpaceX Boca Chica have in the future? Well, I know Tesla and SpaceX have like synergy on two levels. First is with the Tesla batteries and that's what they use to power Starship. So that could be one way they could partner up. And what's nice about having the Gigafactory right there is you don't have to ship it as far, right? And then the other one is Tesla hired a interior designer for their cars that would also be asked to work on Starship's cabin. So there you go. Maybe whoever took that job is going to work out of the Gigafactory, or maybe they'll work out at HQ probably. I think that's where actually the job posting was for. But other than that, I'm not really sure. I'm sure they'll use a lot of the Tesla vehicles out of there to use on site. We'll see. Once Boca Chica really starts to blow up as a real spaceport, I can't imagine all the Tesla stuff they'll be using there. You got to keep in mind, like every one of Elon's companies is related to Mars in some way. All right, boring company for digging tunnels. You can dig tunnels on Mars, get away from that radiation a little bit, maybe. So it'll be interesting what ends up happening. I think Elon's really trying to get it all done quickly though, because life is short, right? He's got a lot to do. Oh, that's right. Thank you, Ross II. Star Citizen. Yeah, I have been keeping an eye on that for several years now. And I know it's like officially released kind of, although it's not a completed product. And see how low I am in my camera now. I have sunk, and I'm going to stay sunk. I'm tired of lifting myself up, pulling myself up from my bootstraps. Yeah, Star Citizen looks awesome, and I can't wait to play it. But I don't want to play it when it's still like getting like all these huge updates and it's still buggy. I want to play the completed thing, so I'm waiting on that one. But I'm totally looking forward to playing it. Maybe it's basically complete now. I haven't really looked into it in a few months. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate every one of you. Thank you for all of our new eccentric members. Thanks for drinking that Kool-Aid, being a member of the cult. Pretty soon you'll rank up and you can try to entice other youngins to join the cult and drink the Kool-Aid. Glad to have you. For those of you who are new members, you get an extra episode of SpaceX in the News every week. We call it our midweek preview, where I dive deeper into depth into what's going on, usually released on Tuesdays. All right, which today is Tuesday, is it not? Which means I need to get one done today, actually. How about that? So if you're looking for some Starship news today, it will be coming for you eccentric members. Otherwise, Friday for the rest of you. All right, guys, I'm going to head out now. Cairo didn't eat his nums because he's a picky eater, so I need to go sit there and help him. It's ridiculous. It's like babysitting. But until next time, Godspeed.